If animals could talk, what animal would be the most annoying? What is a big waste of money? What comes to mind when you think of Straya? The people who pay my bills. Thanks you guys. Thanks, EmKay. Love you guys. There are 48 million kangaroos, and in Uruguay, there are 3,457,380 inhabitants. So if the kangaroos decide to invade Uruguay, each Uruguayan will have to fight 14 kangaroos. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Alps, Mozart. Then I would like to ask you what comes to mind when you think about Austria. This post is about Straya, not Stria. Finding Nemo. This is a knife. He's got a knife. That's not a knife. Pulls out larger knife. That's a knife. That's a spoon. I see you've played knifey spoony before. Kangaroos, koalas, attractive men, unintelligible accents, drop bear, and Vegemite. Mate, Holden Utes. What's Australia? Pretty sure that's a fictional place people made up. P. Sherman, Wallaby Street, number 42, Sydney. Guys literally only want one thing, and it's fucking disgusting. What is that one thing? Peace of mind. What I wouldn't give for a little peace of mind, am I right? To not have to worry about bills. That was my biggest issue last year when I was living alone. I just want my family to be well taken care of when I'm gone. Not waking up 2 times during the night to pee. A peaceful, stress-free life. You want the impossible. Financial comfort until I die. I don't need millions. I just never want to have to shift money ever again. You dig? Early retirement. Like very early. Like now. Atlantis. An ancient city filled with treasure. Thought to be lost at sea by Poseidon. Lego. And it's disgustingly expensive. What is theoretically possible but practically impossible? Everyone agreeing. Or everyone disagreeing. This works both ways. There will always be people that will go against the general flow if there is one. Loading the dishwasher the exact way your spouse thinks it should be loaded. Speaking the truth your entire life without a single lie. Building a wall that will destroy a tornado. Dying of potassium overdose by eating too many bananas. Rolling a dice and always getting the same number. Pooping at an adequate angle and velocity that it flushes itself. What? You're telling me if I take a good enough, it flushes itself? I want this as a Cards Against Humanity card. Screw all these NSFW questions. What Skittle flavor is best? Lime. It's lime. It's lime. The Skittle flavored Skittles are the best. They all taste the same, they just smell different. Tend to just rip open the bag and hammer a load in my mouth at once. That's what she said. Woo! Fucks aren't given, and no Skittle is at my mercy. Whatever the chocolate flavor with the M is called, I don't remember though. That's so weird. I once had a bag where the chocolate flavored ones had a M on them, but I don't think I've ever seen any M ones. By the time I got done screwing all the NSFW questions, I'll be too exhausted to even think about Skittles. I like all Skittles. The yogurt ones are yuck. Sour. Rip the top of your mouth though. Still love them. Lemon. Why do people always hate on lemon? It's the same with fruit pastilles and opal fruits or Starburst now. Yellow is king. Green. Lime or apple. Chad. Anyone who says anything other than red or purple is a serial killer. Nah, bro. Purple Skittles are disgusting. Straight up, on God. You can't argue with me because you know I'm right. What's a common etiquette rule you don't agree with? Inviting all of your relatives to your wedding. Some relatives don't even care if I'm getting married, but sure will be offended if I don't invite them. Hell, my mom's friend got mad I didn't invite him. A man I'd never talked to more than twice in my life, nor knew existed until I was in my 20s. This is why nobody invites you. I have a real hard time with the keep your elbows off our table rule. To not discuss your salary. This is to benefit the owners. They don't want people knowing who is or isn't getting screwed over. Age requires respect. Been to many academic conferences. Some of the old, even retired professors think they are main characters and interrupt speakers mid-sentence to share their wisdom. It got so bad that the organizers had to announce some rules regarding interruptions. I think eating with your hands is often fine to do, even when most people would disagree. I mean, people eat with their hands in a bunch of cultures, different cultures around the world all the time. Like, it should not be something that's frowned upon. If I want to dig my hand into a plate of spaghetti and meatballs, I'm gonna fucking do it, alright? Anything involving lawns, fuck you if you think the kind of grass I have is wrong, or it makes you mad that's an inch too tall, or if there's wildflowers growing in it. Lowers the property value, but you're mowing your lawn at 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning is fine? That's real communitarian. Redditors, what's an unknown fact that could save your life? Fire spreads fast, like really fast, as in, it can go from a wastebasket to an entire room in 3 minutes flat. If you find something in your house is on fire and you don't have something immediately to hand, such as a fire blanket or extinguisher, get everyone out immediately. Don't even stop to find your phone. If you're in a crowd that's packed almost uncomfortably tight, ask yourself, if my shoe fell off right now, would I be able to retrieve it, or would I just never see it again? If the latter, get the fuck out of that crowd. Don't try to put out a grease or oil fire with water. Boom. Don't remember where I learned it, but the air begins to smell like ozone before lightning strikes. So if the air starts smelling like a kind of chlorine during a storm, it means lightning might be about to hit the area you're standing in. If you smell natural gas in your house, don't turn on lights, appliances, or use the phone inside. suicide. A spark could cause an explosion. When doing CPR chest compressions, pace them to Staying Alive by the Bee Gees. If you're choking and alone, you can throw yourself onto the edge of furniture, like a chair or a couch or table. A blow like that onto your midriff is similar to a Heimlich maneuver and can dislodge whatever is stuck in your trachea. If you or your kid is eating fruit and they complain about it tasting fuzzy or hairy or something along those lines, that means they are allergic to it. You'll want to schedule an appointment with their pediatrician to schedule an allergy test. Humans are dangerous animals who will panic at a moment's notice. So in an unfamiliar place, always find out where the exit is. People have died being trapped by stampedes. Someone taught me this years ago, and I do it without thinking now. If you are ever being chased by a polar bear, get completely naked and drop your clothes on the ground as you run away. Polar bears have really bad ADD and will firmly inspect your clothes before chasing you again. What's a musician or band that no one can hate? Dolly Parton. You might not like the music, but it's hard to hate person. There isn't one. I'm pretty well certain of that. The world is filled with a lot of hatred. Dave Grohl, Stevie Wonder, Queen. If you don't vibe to at least one Queen song, there's something wrong with you. Good Old Fashioned Loverboy is a great Queen song. I think it might be my favorite from them. I really enjoy it. Ludwig von Beethoven. I thought this was about musicians, not streamers. Why is Ludwig on here? Hey guys, that was a joke, by the way. I know who Beethoven is. The Beach Boys. Ah, yes, the better Beatles. Whitney Houston. What is your favorite space movie of all time? That would be Spaceballs. One of the best comedy movies ever made. So freaking funny. Alien. Aliens. Galaxy Quest. Apollo 13. Treasure Planet. This is such an underrated movie. I need to rewatch Treasure Planet. I really do. The Empire Strikes Back. No love for Pitch Black or Chronicles of Riddick? Pitch Black was such a wonderful surprise when I first saw it. I thought it was going to be so bad, and I was so wrong. Such a good example of how you can have an amazing sci-fi story without crazy set pieces and all. It's so contained and tight, but hints at this much bigger world out there. 2001, A Space Odyssey. Spaceballs! Hey, I love being right. Still waiting for Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money. Wrath of Khan. I'm not even that big about Star Trek, but goddamn that movie is good. Those who work night shifts. What is the scariest thing you've experienced? I'm sure you're looking for answers like about creepy things we've seen going in or leaving, but hands down the scariest thing I've experienced is my drive home after like 4 to 5 12s in a row. My drive is about 45 minutes and I have a lot of interstate. I can't really describe how scary it is when your brain goes, wow, I'm coming up on that car really fast. I should probably slow down. I mean, now. Wait, now. Holy slow down. That's not including the days your eyes refuse to stay open or you get somewhere and realize you have no memory of doing it. I don't know, man. Being tired and operating a vehicle while tired is just really scary. As a cop, we got called to an intruder alarm at a funeral home. Find a confused elderly guy who said he got locked in there when it's closed. We locked the door, called the business owner, and drove the old guy to his home, and he walked around the back. He went back to the funeral home and they said a corpse was missing. The people at the house had lived there for years and never saw the old guy. No idea what happened after that. I leave for work around 2:30 a.m. every morning. One morning I step out my front door, not really paying attention. I sense the presence and I hear something shuffling. I look up and a deer is close enough to me that I could touch it if I wanted to. I yelled out in fear. Didn't realize it was a deer at first, and the deer runs off. Made for a funny story when I got into work. Certified nursing assistant in an assistant living facility. One night I was alone and 2 patients at once decided to die. My 19-year-old was in panic. 3 a.m. on the general medicine ward. 65-year-old dude leaves his room and walks to the kitchenette to get some water. Walking back to his room, he stops and makes penetrating eye contact with all of us at the nursing station. He sneezes and catastrophically tears his esophageal varices and begins to spout blood out of his mouth like a fire hydrant. We were able to slam him with Midas before he drowned in his own blood, but I will never not remember his look of desperation. Terrifying. How is everyone not freaking out about climate change? There's a lot of stuff happening right now, and it's really hard to be worrying about 10 things at once when you're too young to actually make a difference at the current moment. My dude, I'm bipolar. I can barely make it out of bed in the morning, so I seriously have to ignore like this, or I walk around 24/7 in panic mode. But bro, there will be no bipolar if it keeps melting. You're thinking of bipolar bears. I was upset years ago. Now I have resigned to the fact that we're all f***ed because no one with any real sway wants to actually do anything about it. And the masses are too absent-minded to force their hand. Too much profit to be made from destroying our planet, and by the time any real change happens, it will be far too late if we aren't already past the point of no return now. Better start your prep because is going to get real bad before it even begins to get better. Use of doing so, people with literally 1 billion more money and resources against me, move higher into the mountains, learn moonshine. What the hell am I supposed to do when there's ultra-rich people private jetting all over the place multiple times a day? It's out of my hands. I have enough to worry about. Also, I remember in 2010, I was in school and it was really hot that summer and way into the fall. It was unusual where I live and everyone was talking about how strangely hot it was and saying it was because the world was ending soon. I was literally sick with worry for the next 2 years because I thought it was climate change related to the incoming end of the world in 2012. Well, that didn't happen and I was all worried out after that. I am, and I'm glad you are too. Your username is the reason why you went to jail. What's the reason? Well, I said something. Oh no. What could I have possibly said that put me in jail? I'm dumb. Same boat with you on that. I did every crime possible from A to Z. Indecency in a supermarket. I ain't no snitch. Police didn't believe it was sugar. Finally lost it. Hopped in the aquarium tank and let those fuckers have it. Didn't have enough vowels to be burned at the stake. What would you refuse to buy even if you were a millionaire? Heated seat subscription. Any of those giant exotic animals. I worked with rehabilitated poached animals, and I can tell you that anyone buying tigers or primates or what have you got them from a place that euthanizes extra animals that don't sell, including those cute cubs that you can pet, or they're pretty directly involved in poaching from the wild. The animals are never treated right. Reddit avatars. Anything that would inform someone that I was in fact a millionaire. Designer baby clothes. Was buying my daughter shoes today, and there were tables for Gucci, Burberry, etc. Shoes for kids. It's pretty gross. $450 for a pair of sneakers your kid is going to outgrow in 4 months, just so people can see the Fendi pattern? Vomit. The extended warranty that I keep getting calls about. Anything Reddit sells. If I had a free award, I would give it to you. Big ass house, because I easily get scared by random sounds around our home, and we live in an apartment. Yeah, I wouldn't want a big house. I used to really want a big house, but like now, if I could buy whatever house I want, I'd buy it like a 3-bedroom. I'd live alone, maybe a 4-bedroom, maybe a regular size house, like a 4-bedroom, one for me, one for my office, a guest bedroom, and then like another filming room, or like a display room for all of my yeah, something like that. Maybe I'll give my dog his own bedroom. Polishing cloth that Apple started selling for $20. NFTs. If you have an NFT, you. What happened to your first love? She just got done yelling at me for being mean on Twitter. We met in high school, lost touch for a few years after school, met up again after that, and we had a relationship for a few years. We ended up breaking up because she wanted to start a family, and I wasn't ready for that. I don't really know what happened to him since then because we no longer talk, but I'm hoping he's doing well. I swear this comment section is either they died or we got married. You forgot jail. She died in a car accident the day before my 21st birthday. I've never even come close to loving anyone as much as I loved her. I honestly feel like a huge part of me died with her. We met in university, best friends but not romantic, but he ended up working in another country. I had a lot of demons to work through, not related to him. We kept in sporadic touch over the years. He came back to visit home and we saw each other. We ended up getting married. I was 47 years old. He's sipping coffee next to me right now in Italy. I turn 50 tomorrow. She married some asshole. It's me. I'm the asshole. Still married. You were handed $2,000 in cash and told to do something as irrational as possible with it. What do? I spend it all on art of Pokemon because that's what I do. You know, all this money I make from reading Reddit posts, I don't even keep it. I give it all to artists on Twitter. Irrational for me or irrational in general? Because if it's something that's just irrational for me, I'd save it. Donate that to the IRS. Give it back. Yeah, in your dreams. Purchase motorcycle insurance. I do not own a motorcycle. Exchange it for pennies, make a floor design with it, then epoxy over it. No thanks. Oh my god. Ew. That looks like that looks horrible. Why would I want little Lincolns everywhere? Hell no. Buy the best purple Teletubby costume available and spend the rest on lottery tickets. His name is Tinky Winky. Hold on. Guys. Speaking of the freaking Teletubbies, did you guys know that the tallest Teletubby, Tinky Winky, the purple one, is 11 feet tall? 11 feet tall. Canonically 11 feet tall. Dipsy and Lala are about 10 feet and Poe is 6 feet. Some of you were shorter than the shortest Teletubby. Not me though, because I'm 6'3". So I mean, I ain't worried about that. Poe was always my favorite. But yeah, the Teletubbies are ginormous. Can you believe that? Burn the money. Crash a wedding with a bunch of people wearing those blow-up T-Rex suits. Bury it and hope money trees grow. What's the most frightening thing that has been discovered by archaeologists? I'm gonna go with something that is scary because it was apparently mundane. When I took an intro to archaeology course for medievalists, the instructor, who had many years of medieval digs under her belt, said that they were used to digging up cemeteries and not usually much affected by it. But then you would occasionally find people who, by their poses, had apparently been buried alive and woken up and struggled before dying for real. This was common enough that it was not totally surprising, though it could never be common enough for you to get used to it. Maybe more sad than frightening, but the mummies of children sacrificed in capacacha ceremonies in Incan Peru. Kids between 5 and 15, drugged, taken to the top of a mountain, and then either violently killed or abandoned to succumb to the elements. Because of the environmental conditions on the mountaintops, some of the mummies are really well preserved, especially their posture, other than the clothes. They look just like the kids have curled up to take a nap. Interestingly, since being sacrificed was something of an honor, the quality of life of the kids between being selected for sacrifice and actually being killed was pretty high. Not so much frightening, but for me, one of the most haunting things I've seen is pictures of Titanic's debris field and all the pairs of shoes, which provides evidence that the body lay there. The Minoans in Crete. It's scary to think that such an important culture could be forgotten about for over 3,000 years. Pompeii. I was weirdly obsessed with the idea of time being frozen as a child. Finding Black Plague bacteria in the dental pulp of plague victims. All of the mummies that were clearly buried alive from every corner of the globe. How many corners does a globe have? According to the Time Cube guy, Like 6. Educated, stupid. The last thing you purchased just grew 10 times in size. How screwed are you? The last thing I purchased was this morning. I bought Dutch Bros, my drink, my iced drink. So, I mean, if that grew 10 times the size, it'd be really big, but at least I wouldn't have to go to Dutch for a while. 650 liters of gas? I'll take it. That's a lot of sushi. Come on over. No, thank you. I don't like sushi. Do you have any Kraft mac and cheese? I don't know how much trouble I'd be in. I ate the chocolate bar a while ago. Hot damn. I'm gonna have a really big mattress. It'll fill my entire apartment. I'm not, because FedEx delivered it to the wrong fucking house. Does this mean I get puppy 10 times the normal size, or do I get 10 more puppies? Clifford. What is the most painful thing you've ever endured? Got a full pressure of a powder fire extinguisher in my eye. Blew my cornea right off my eyeball. Managed to find help and was later told I looked like a ghost. I was rushed to the hospital and had a contact type thing put over my eyeball, under my eyelids with fluid connected to it. Hurt like hell at that point and was laying like that for 2 hours before they would attempt surgery. Last thing I remember was laying in an operating room where a mask was put over my face with my dad standing above me. Moments before I fell under, I thought I was dying. Surgery went well, and no serious damage happened after the incident, luckily. A couple years later, when my cornea grew back fully and had adjusted, I needed glasses because of massive headaches. Currently looking into LASIK and similar procedures. Getting run over by a tractor. The worst thing was the week in the hospital after. Once when I had a really bad toothache, I was eating and accidentally bit down on the tooth too hard. It sent a shockwave of pain so intense into my head that it felt like getting stabbed in the brain. It hurt so bad. I collapsed on the floor. Scorpion attack twice. El bozo. Imagine getting attacked by a scorpion. Couldn't be me. Were you extremely intrigued or extremely unlucky? I am from desert, and that's something common there. Not all family members have been attacked though, even once, so you can say I'm unlucky. Hemorrhoid surgery, like crapping a telephone pole wrapped in barbed wire. Getting an IUD removed from inside my vagina. The doctor couldn't reach it because when it had been inserted while I was under anesthesia and asleep, they had cut the tail end of it down too small. I didn't have the same insurance years later and couldn't afford the anesthesia. I received a needle in the wall of my vagina to numb the pain because they really had to go really deep. They foraged around inside me with a pair of ridiculously long forceps until they could pull it out. It was the most invasive, scary thing. It was very painful, and I just remember screaming until I passed out for a few seconds. I tell all the women I know about staying away from invasive IUDs. I had Marina. Who was your first celebrity crush? If we're talking real life celebrity crush, not a fictional character, what's her name? Who plays Hannah Montana's friend? Emily Osment. Okay, it was Emily Osment. She was my first childhood celebrity crush. Mila Jovovich from The Fifth Element. Kimberly, the Pink Ranger. Did not realize how on message this was. Millennials representing this thread. Shout out to kissing your glass TV screen, pretending it was Her Holiness Amy Jo. Thanks for the love and the silver, friends. Olivia Newton-John. Grease was on HBO a lot when I was 4. Rip Sandy, and what a great singer you were. Tia Carrere in Wayne's World. Winona Ryder. Her in Beetlejuice was mine. I am too strange and unusual. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Keanu Reeves. The first and last. I started puberty when I saw Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time video. Natalie Portman. I loved her in the Star Wars prequels. I loved her rap with Andy Samberg. Sandra Bullock because of Speed. Emma Watson. What is something most people love but you hate? When someone gives you a compliment that's not true. Like there wasn't something you could compliment honestly if you felt like you had to say something. Nightclubs. So loud. A lot of people staying up until the morning. It's just not for me. People could not agree more. I hate you guys. Social engagements. Talking over the phone. I enjoy conversation, but chatting over the phone is physically uncomfortable and draining for me. Alcohol. I don't necessarily hate it. I just have no interest in it. It's an acquired taste that I just never got. Seinfeld. The beach. Gotta get all slathered up in SPF sunscreen and hide under an umbrella so I don't die. The sand burns my feet. The sun burns everything else. I have to put up with a bunch of other yahoos doing annoying stuff. You have to Hawkeye the kids so they don't die. What is the fun in that? Twitter. Who loves Twitter? Elon. Hate is a strong word, but TikTok would serve humanity better being thrown in a waste bin and set on fire. That being said, go follow AskEmKay on TikTok. Guys, we're popping off over there. Just saying, guys, we're at 126,000 followers on AskEmKay on TikTok. So, I like TikTok, and you should go follow and say, wow, I love narrator Mason. He's so cool, and you should follow him on Twitter at SaysMasonLive. The royal family. People drone on about how they only cost about 70p a year per person, and they bring in tourists. But France haven't had a royal family for almost 300 years, and their tourism industry is fine. What is the worst thing thing you could use for toilet paper. Someone else has used toilet paper. I did this once. Poison ivy leaf. I don't even want to think about a poison ivy leaf touching your bunghole. Like, that just does not sound pleasant. Used corn on the cob rind? Oh, what? My mom saved them up for when we ran out of toilet paper. I'm gonna throw up. I kid you not. Yikes. Did your family sit on the porch and play the banjo? I thought my mom was nuts. Bro who uses toilet paper, just wipe with your hands. Toilet paper? In this economy? A turned-on chainsaw. A cheese grater. Your partner's face. Don't kink shame me. More poop. Edward Scissorhands. Your child's clothing. In front of everyone, when dropping them off at school, on exam day, the morning after their grandparents and pet bird died in vengeful murder-suicide, which was blamed on said child. R/specifically suspicious. Several times. What was the dumbest way you got hurt? I'm clumsy, but probably tripping over a raised footpath brick. Dislocated my elbow. When I was 13, I found a golf ball while I was taking a walk and wanted to try to break it. So I took the golf ball and threw it as hard as I could at the ground. It ended up bouncing back and hitting me in the eye. I kept the golf ball as a souvenir. I stapled my hand to a notebook. I stabbed my hand trying to pry a brownie out of a pan. Struck the bone. I was 28 and didn't use nonstick spray. I have a small permanent scar on my chin like Harrison Ford. I got it in elementary school. We were running for PE and had it in my head that running hard mean running wildly like in movies. Swing crazy hard, back arched, head back, eyes closed. I ran straight into the metal gate backstop on the playground for kickball. Someone asking me for a face pic on a dating app and me sending one and then getting blocked. I had to take 2 days off earlier in the year after I threw my back out. Everyone kept asking what I did. I sneezed. Getting old is a bitch. What is a big waste of money? DoorDash. $40 for a lukewarm burger. Expensive coffins. Betting $10K on number 4 in roulette. That's oddly specific. Gambling. Using mid-grade or premium fuel if your vehicle doesn't call for it. Enlargement spells. Abracadabra, your dick's a banana. Buying video games that you'll never play. You leave my Steam library out of it and it was on sale. If animals could talk, what animal would be the most annoying? Dogs. They would be shouting outside my house every single night. Hey, get the fuck off our property. I can imagine if cicadas had mouths, they would be screaming, sex, all day long like an adult movie theater carnival barker in 1987 Times Square. It would get old very, very quickly. Elephant. Constantly bringing up you'd forgotten. Hey, so remember what you did on that drizzly Tuesday back in 86? Pretty messed up, dude. A mosquito. It would have the most annoying voice ever. Dogs would talk like that weird friend in elementary school that never leaves your side and always wants to do everything with you, even though you find him slightly annoying. Birds. Constantly repeating, I am here, this is mine, over and over, starting around 6 a.m. Seagull. Mine, 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 mine. Spiders. You can hear them talk, but you'll never know where they're coming from or which dark corner they're lurking in. For some reason, I anticipate the way they speak would be in third person, so there's a story to be told. Hey everybody, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I'm Says Mason. This was Ask EmKay. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and goodbye.